Most people believe that IQ is something fixed, something that stays the same once your school years are over, a number that defines your intelligence for life. This belief, however, is far from accurate, and psychology shows a very different picture. Intelligence is not static. In fact, it can grow, improve, and expand with deliberate effort. Your IQ is not solely determined by the education you receive or the knowledge you acquire. It can change and improve when you train how your brain thinks, not just what it knows. There are habits, practices, and ways of thinking that can actually rewire your brain, boosting your cognitive abilities, enhancing your decision-making skills, and making you a more effective problem solver. These habits take time to form, but they can gradually sharpen your mind, making you more intelligent and more capable of understanding complex ideas and abstract concepts. In this video, we'll explore the key habits that have been scientifically proven to increase IQ, habits that, when cultivated, can lead to a more powerful mind. The first habit is thinking before reacting. It may sound simple, but it's one of the most effective ways to enhance your intelligence. People with higher IQs don't react immediately to situations. They pause for a moment before speaking, texting, or acting. Psychology refers to this as cognitive control, which allows the thinking part of the brain to override emotional impulses. When you react instantly, your brain stays in survival mode, constantly on alert for threats. But when you take a moment to pause, even if just for a few seconds, you switch from survival mode into reasoning mode. This habit trains your brain to think before acting, improving judgment, logic, and self-control. Over time, this pause becomes second nature, and your ability to make wise, reasoned decisions improves significantly. The next habit that can boost IQ is reading material that feels difficult. Intelligence does not grow from content that is easy or familiar. It grows from the things that challenge your understanding and stretch your thinking. When you read challenging material, whether it's psychology, science, philosophy, or even long-form writing, your brain is forced to focus, to remember details, and to connect ideas in new and complex ways. Psychologists have linked this to stronger working memory and better verbal reasoning skills. When you constantly consume only easy or superficial content, your brain adapts to shallow thinking. But when you push yourself to read difficult material, your brain begins to rewire itself, improving your capacity for deep thinking and complex problem solving. Difficulty is not a weakness. It's a signal that growth is happening. Another habit that can dramatically increase IQ is asking why. This is a habit of critical thinkers, a way to move beyond basic facts and into understanding the deeper causes and effects. Instead of just accepting answers, people with higher IQs dig deeper, constantly asking why things happen and why things are the way they are. Psychology shows that asking why builds chains of cause and effect in the brain, which helps you move from mere memorization to true understanding. You stop memorizing facts and start understanding systems. This habit enhances abstract reasoning and separates average intelligence from high intelligence. Highly intelligent people don't just know what happened, they understand why it happened and what is likely to happen next. One of the most underrated habits for increasing IQ is spending time alone. In today's world, most people avoid silence. They fill every moment with noise, distractions, and constant input from their phones or other sources. However, highly intelligent people use silence as a form of mental training. When you spend time alone without distractions, your brain enters deep processing mode. This is when reflection, insight, and creative thinking occur. Psychologists have linked time spent in solitude to stronger problem-solving skills and better self-awareness. Constant stimulation weakens focus, but silence strengthens intelligence. The habit of learning one difficult skill deeply is another powerful way to boost IQ. Trying to learn everything at once can actually lower your cognitive performance, but focused struggle leads to high IQ growth. When you commit to learning one challenging skill, whether it's a new language, coding, writing, or even playing a musical instrument, your brain builds new neural connections, a process known as neuroplasticity. The confusion, mistakes, and effort involved are not signs of failure. They're signs that your brain is literally changing and growing. This focused learning strengthens your ability to think critically and solve complex problems. Another highly effective habit for increasing IQ is explaining ideas in simple words. The ability to simplify complex ideas is a hallmark of intelligence. If you truly understand something, you can explain it clearly and simply. When you try to explain concepts out loud or in writing, your brain must organize your thoughts, remove confusion, and identify any gaps in your understanding. Psychologists link this habit to stronger logical structure and conceptual clarity. Intelligent people don't hide behind jargon or complex language. Instead, they make difficult ideas easier to understand, which strengthens their practical intelligence. Similarly, questioning your own thinking is another key habit of highly intelligent people. High intelligence includes the ability to doubt yourself and your assumptions. Instead of saying, "I'm right," intelligent minds ask, "What if I'm wrong? What assumptions am I making? What evidence do I have?" Psychology refers to this as metacognition, which is the ability to think about your thinking. This habit reduces bias and emotional reasoning and replaces ego with accuracy. The smartest minds are the most mentally flexible, always willing to adjust their thinking and change their views when new evidence arises. Delaying pleasure on purpose is another powerful habit that can increase IQ. Instant pleasure, like scrolling through social media or indulging in junk food, trains your brain to avoid effort. On the other hand, delayed pleasure teaches your brain to plan, to resist short-term rewards in favor of long-term goals. When you resist the urge for instant comfort and focus on working toward a future goal, you strengthen your executive function. This is the same brain system that governs planning, reasoning, and problem-solving. Psychology shows that people with higher executive function tend to score higher on IQ tests and make better decisions in real life. Another habit that enhances intelligence is observing people instead of judging them. Judging people shuts down thinking, while observing their behavior sharpens it. Highly intelligent people are keen observers. They look for patterns in behavior, asking themselves what motivates people's actions instead of reacting emotionally. Psychology links this ability to social intelligence, which overlaps with general IQ. Understanding people requires logic, empathy, and pattern recognition, all traits of a sharp mind. Reviewing mistakes calmly is another habit that can improve IQ. Many people with lower intelligence avoid mistakes, but intelligent people study them. When you calmly review what went wrong, your brain activates error-based learning, which is one of the fastest ways to improve reasoning. Psychologists have shown that people who analyze their mistakes improve faster than those who ignore them. Failure is not damaging. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. Thinking in long-term consequences is a habit that separates intelligent thinkers from impulsive ones. Low-level thinking focuses on immediate rewards and instant gratification, while highly intelligent people ask, "What happens if I keep doing this for the next 10 years?" Psychologists link this habit to future-oriented cognition, the ability to mentally simulate outcomes before taking action. When you train your brain to think long-term, you improve your ability to plan, reason, and make decisions. This habit helps you stop making emotional choices and start making intelligent, reasoned ones. Finally, changing your opinion when evidence changes is a sign of high intelligence. Many people treat their opinions as part of their identity and defend them even when they are wrong. Intelligent people, on the other hand, adjust their thinking when new facts emerge. Psychology calls this cognitive flexibility, the ability to update beliefs based on new evidence. Flexible minds learn faster and adapt more easily, while rigid minds stay stuck. Being able to say, "I was wrong," is a sign of strength, not weakness. Another key habit that increases IQ is noticing patterns in your own behavior. Intelligence is not just about understanding the world, it's about understanding yourself. When you notice patterns like, "I always procrastinate at night," or "I react impulsively in certain situations," you activate self-pattern recognition, a key cognitive skill. People who track their own behavior make better decisions and improve faster than those who don't. Finally, reducing emotional language and thinking helps increase IQ. Emotional thinking often sounds like, "This is terrible," or "I hate this." High IQ thinking sounds like, "This is inconvenient," or "What can I adjust?" Emotional language increases stress and blocks reasoning, while neutral language keeps the brain in problem-solving mode. The words you use internally shape how smartly you think. The less drama, the more intelligent your thinking becomes. IQ doesn't increase overnight. It's a gradual process that happens through consistent, intentional habits. You don't have to be born smarter. You can become smarter by adopting these habits and training your mind to think deeper and more effectively. If you're ready to start cultivating these habits and improving your intelligence, make sure to subscribe to the Knownsense for more psychological insights and practical tips to make your mind sharper, your decisions better, and your life more successful.